Hello everyone out there. Let me tell you a story of a certain guy. His name is Jake. And Jake really wants to be rich, but he comes from a pretty poor background, was raised by a single mother, and lacks any positive role models. Despite this, he's still ambitious and always looking for advice on how to make it big. Recently, Jake started working at one of my favorite cafes, and while I was sitting in my usual corner, I saw him approach an older guy dressed in a suit. Let's call him Mr. Grumpy because I've seen him around, but he never has a smile on his face. So when Jake asked him for some advice, I knew it wasn't going to go well. Mr. Grumpy just bluntly told him that the younger generation was lazy and didn't know the first thing about hard work. Jake tried to tell him that he's working hard to pay for college and has big plans for the future, but things aren't the same nowadays. But it was no use. Old Grumpy didn't even let him finish and snapped back. He said that younger people are just full of excuses and want everything handed to them on a silver platter. Coming from a humble background and having made my first million in my 20s, I saw lots of similarities between myself and Jake. So I couldn't just sit idly by. I got up and approached them. I looked Mr. Grumpy directly in the eyes and said something along these lines. Times have indeed changed, and so are the challenges young people face today. Yes, our generation worked hard, but that doesn't mean young people aren't working just as hard today. Jake is juggling school and a job and planning for his future. The world is honestly more complex now. The path to success isn't as straightforward as it used to be. We need to support and encourage the younger generation, not belittle them. They're the backbone and future leaders of this world. We should be guiding them with our experience, not dismantling their efforts. I wish I could tell you I changed his views on youngsters, but honestly, I reckon my words pretty much entered one ear and went right out the other. Some older people are just so stuck in their ways, but we're not all like that. Later, when Jake was grabbing a bite on his lunch break, I sat with him for a good hour, sharing some real-world advice to help him get ahead. This whole experience with Jake really got me thinking. There must be thousands, actually, probably millions of young, motivated people like Jake out there. So I thought today, I'll break down the advice I gave Jake into 5 principles that anyone can follow to become wealthy. For the first 10 years of your life, you're just a kid having mindless fun. And the next 10 years, you're stuck in a classroom being taught mostly useless information like Pythagoras, Boris's theorem, and Shakespeare. It's only when you hit your 20s that you step into the big bad world and start figuring out how to earn money. So when you see 20-year-olds driving around in the Lambos on social media, it can make you feel pretty
bad, but don't blame yourself not having it all figured out yet. The school system didn't prepare you for the real world. If this sounds like it's you, then don't just focus on earning millions at this stage. You need to obsess over sharpening your actions. Lots of people skip this part of the process and just try to start a business as they've heard it's the way to become rich. However, they're doing the equivalent of trying to cut down a tree with a blunt axe. It's simply just not going to work. So how do you sharpen your axe so that when you go for the big money, you can easily cut down a tree with a few strong swings? Well, it all comes down to mastering high-income skills. These are the skills that can make you at least $10,000 per month. Some great examples nowadays are video editing, copywriting, high-ticket closing, and software development. The amount you can make with skills like these will change depending on supply and demand, but mastering 1 or 2 of these skills can put you in a really great position early on in life. My son started his videography and editing skills while still in school. Upon graduating, he quickly acquired clients and was earning $10,000 a month within a year. However, the money wasn't as important as the opportunities his skills provided. They allowed him to interact with extremely successful people and gain access to valuable information that others paid thousands for. This is the true power of a high-income skill. It opens doors. So think about what doors you want to open and pick 1 or 2 high-income skills that will help you get there. Don't rush this step. Sharpening your axe takes time and dedication. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You don't have to make a ton of money really fast and just show it off. You should aim to last and not become a one-hit wonder. So extend your timeline. Stop thinking you need to become a millionaire in 1 or 2 years. If you learn the right skills, then the millions will follow. Just trust the process. Once you have a sharp axe, it's also quite nice to know that even if somebody took away all your money, you'll still be able to make far more money than the average person. Most self-made millionaires say they can make it all back faster a second time round as they already have the knowledge and the skills to do it. Your money is like this stack of cookies. The more you handle them, the more they'll just crumble away. The key is to stop messing with your money thinking, "I'm going to put it here, trade this, by that." As a harsh reality is, you're probably making the wrong decisions. How do you think Warren Buffett made 99% of his $137 billion net worth after his 50th birthday? It's because he understood that real money is made through compound interest. However, this can happen if it's too easy to access your money as it's just tempting. That's why you need to lock it away somewhere where it can grow in peace.
But you can't just lock your money away in a bank account and expect it to grow. You need to invest it. There are lots of different asset classes you can choose from, like real estate, high-end watches, and gold. However, my favorite has to be the stock market. But here's the thing, youngsters these days dream about popping bottles and zipping around in flashy sports cars. Saving money? Not so much. But take it from me, making $1 million once is nothing special. You're only a legend if you can do it again and again. So after you pocketed your first million, the real game begins. Can you keep it? And more importantly, grow it into a fortune. The best thing you can do is get that money away from you and into investments as soon as possible. Just wait for your profit. Fear. This is the biggest thing stopping you becoming rich. You might think you fear failure. However, in reality, you're probably more concerned about how others will judge you if you fail. You see, I've spoken to so many young people like Jake who have big dreams but are too scared to take a risk and step out of the norm as they're so paralyzed by fear. However, taking calculated risks is the only way to get ahead of everyone else. Think about it for a second. If you're just, then you're going to get the same results, right? These risks might not always pay off, but luckily, when you're younger, you have one huge advantage: time. This is the most valuable thing you have. If you have this much time, then take right decision there, you will have success in life. Stay focused. Bye for now.